Well, out of all the things that happened in this chapter, for me, the most profound was actually getting to see where Luffy and Zoro had landed all those chapters ago.
One Piece, chapter 360, Departing Soon.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and engrossing tale, and just utterly fabulous tale, of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, was really a favorite of mine, mainly because we wound up finding out that Robin actually is not bad, that she was just forced into this situation, and it was either go along with turn herself in and go along with the plot from CP9 and everything like that, or obviously her friends would wind up being killed, the Straw Hats. So the chapter ended, though, what I thought was great, because we wound up having Nami, who was just like, all right, we gotta get this taken care of, we gotta round everybody up, you know. And that's how the chapter left off. That's where the chapter picks up, and I thought it was nice to go and see. First of all, you see everyone's starting to come together, and to be able to, and within a few pages, everyone just kind of, wanting to go and help everybody, help Nami and Chopper to get everything rolling. But first, we wind up seeing right where we left off, which was Sanji at the actual station for the train that's going to be departing to Enies Lobby, and he witnesses Robin getting on. The first few pages are really, it's kind of it's almost goofy and laughable, because at first he's like, all right, there's got to be a reason that, she could slip away from these government types, if she really wanted to. So there has to be a bigger plan involved here. There has to be a reason that she's going along with this, or whatever. There's got to be a bigger end game. And then he goes into like this weird little fantasy thing, excuse me, where he's got it in his head that like she just wants him to rescue her, and he's like, oh, Robin, I've come for you. And she's like, oh yes, Sanji. Just his funny sort of Sanji kind of wet dream things that he has going on there. The hopeless romantic. Very funny though, I thought. So anyway, we get a few pages of that, and then it kind of goes back into, back to Iceberg and outside the Galley company and everything. And we see Paulie has gotten up, and Nami's like, listen, we got to get everybody together. We got to round everybody up. She's telling Chopper, we got to do this, we got to do that. And I love how everybody always goes and like mistakes Chopper for like either their pet, the Straw Hat's pet, or for a raccoon. Very, very funny. He's always like, I'm a reindeer. Anyway, what winds up happening, though, is they're like, no, we gotta tie you up and this and that, blah, blah, we should be tying the Straw Hats up. And Paulie's like, no. Paulie gets up and he goes in and he nips that in the bud right away. Paulie goes and says, listen, man, the Straw Hats were framed. They were not behind the assassination. There was someone else at work. He doesn't say who it was because he doesn't want to get into the whole, Lucci and Kaku, or, it turned against us and everything else, and Khalifa and all that. So he just says that they basically took off, they kind of were scared running home to their mama. They ran home to their mama. But ultimately he says that, he says with the Straw Hats, you can see they're the ones that saved me and Mr. Iceberg and everything else. So we need to help them find Zoro and Luffy and Sanji. And it's funny because you wind up there's all these little boats going out in the waterways and stuff, and you can see them, they're like, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp come back to the crew, like in a small word bubble. And this happens a few times as you see them spreading out all over the town, all over Water 7, looking for them, But what we wind up finding out from Iceberg and Paulie to Nami is that, listen, the last train for Enies Lobby is like, it's a government-run facility, okay? So even the conductor is a government man, all right? Nobody's allowed on the island. So Iceberg, even being the mayor, has no pull to stop the train, delay it, whatever. Aqua Laguna's on its way. So this thing that, it seemed like this ominous thing on its way is now playing a part in the actual story, because this is about to hit, and if they don't stop that train or find a way to get on that sea train or whatever they have to do at 11 o'clock, and it's 10:30, mind you, it's half an hour, but I guess in manga time that could be like 20 chapters. Anyway, the point being is that if they don't catch this one, they're not, by boat or anything else, they're not going to be able to get to Enies Lobby, at least for some period of time. And this is a time-sensitive matter, obviously, because of the Aqua Laguna that's rolling in. So I definitely like how everything was put together and how everything just sort of played out over here. So we've got Nami, who takes some with her, and Paulie's going to direct her and try to get her to the actual station, to Blue Station, to be able to, stop this train, slow it down, whatever, because, clearly now, hey, listen, Robin's in trouble, and she was doing what she's doing to help save us. But now it's very much a, hey, fuck no, we're gonna save you, and and we'll take down whoever we have to in the world government along the way. So I very much like that, that kind of attitude. I mean, what else would you expect from the Straw Hats? But it's still cool. It's still fun. It's still touching to see. It brings a smile to my face and some warmth to my heart. It definitely warms my heart to see that. To see that they care that much for each other. And it wasn't even like this whole Buster call and everything like that. It didn't even faze Nami. It was just like, whatever. Yeah, that's great. They'll call in that. And Robin may have thought it was a big deal, but don't worry about it. We're gonna persevere, and we're gonna go save Robin now because we know that she didn't have evil intentions. So, very cool stuff on that front. What we wind up seeing here towards the end of the chapter, actually at the end of the chapter, is everybody's going off looking, and we know that Nami's trying to get down these waterways and actually get to the blue station in time. Sanji is there, and he's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna have to do something. Nobody else has showed up or whatever. Everybody else is out looking for Luffy and Zoro, and then at the end of the chapter, we wind up seeing, we get a check-in after 15, 20 chapters of them being absent. We get a check-in with Luffy and Zoro, and where are they? Well, Luffy got tossed, and he is now in between a couple of buildings, squished again. That's kind of been his theme throughout Water 7. He keeps getting stuck in places. He's got stuck in the wall, got stuck between the walls, got stuck between the buildings, now between more buildings, which is kind of weird because Luffy, prior to that, hasn't been his his thing, But in the Water 7, the theme should be Luffy gets stuck every few chapters. So we see that he's stuck in between two buildings. Then we go and we check in with Zoro. He is upside down, and he's like, oh man, bad luck, my foot slipped. Obviously, when he landed, I don't think he landed in this chimney, but he is now head first down with his ass sticking out of this chimney. And both of them, nobody has any idea where they are. They're looking for him. They don't know. And then we also wind up seeing, too, on that train that Nico Robin was boarding, they wind up taking Frankie and Usopp and tossing them in. It happened earlier in the chapter, but they wind up tossing them in there, too, and kind of tell them, hey, be quiet, So they're all headed to Eni's lobby as far as we know, unless, of course, Nami can stop them. And really just a bunch of things are kind of coming together over here, and it's definitely starting to heat up in a really cool way. So that's how the chapter ends off. And my chapter question for you, brothers and sisters, is really, what are your thoughts on, like I said it kind of jokingly before, but it's the truth, about the whole theme, this arc anyway, of Luffy just getting caught in things and getting caught in places, I've never seen him get jammed up or caught up so much in any of the arcs that we've read so far. So maybe it's just me, but it certainly seems like about 4 or 5 times since they've arrived at Water 7, he's wound up getting trapped in some way, shape, or form and squished in between something, a wall, his head in a wall. Even when he was pinned down, he was pinned down and had to squeeze himself out, So, but anyway, that's my chapter question, and then like I said, I just really am enjoying and looking forward to the next one over here. So, if you could leave your answer to that question in the comments down below, and feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
Remember to follow me on my other channel, as well as Twitter and Facebook and even the Instagram.